murderers, criminals in this country. We have to get them out, and we're doing it.
By law.
And you'll pick out one man, but even the man that you picked out, he said he wasn't a member of a gang. And then they looked, and on his knuckles, he had MS13.
There's a dispute.
Well, wait a minute.
How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about President Donald Trump giving an interesting interview to Terry Moran of ABC News inside the Oval Office. Now, there were quite a few things discussed here. The elephant in the room, obviously, is the illegal alien crisis, the deportations, the due process, all of that kind of stuff. And before we even get into more clips than just those topics, I just want to say one thing. The whole issue about MS13 and the tattoos on the knuckles, Trump was wrong, but he was right. And he was not so wrong to where it made sense for Terry Moran to try and squabble with him over it. It's like, okay, you're talking about a minute detail that doesn't really matter. Ultimately, the guy is a gang member, a verified gang member, and there's a mountain of evidence to prove that he's a gang member, especially the fact that he's in prison right now in El Salvador because he's a gang member. Okay, so it didn't make any sense for them to squabble over that, but that's part of the problem. Mainstream media totally out of touch with reality, in my humble opinion. Now, before we go any further, let's get to a few clips. I will link to all the clips, the full video, the ABC News article in the description box. If you're on IG, Facebook, etc., visit the link in the bio, go to the corresponding article on the website. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
The fighting. Don't
You
forget.
think he wants peace? You think Vladimir Putin wants peace?
I think he does, yes. I think
Still.
he does. I think because
Even with the raining missiles
I
on.
think he really, his dream was to take over the whole country. I think because of me, he's not going to do that.
Do you trust him?
I think.
Do you trust him?
I don't trust you. I don't trust
I don't trust a lot of people, but it's not about trust. It's about, hey, okay, I'm in front of you right now. Let's talk. Let's negotiate. Let's figure out what the best deal for both of our nations is. Very simple.
A lot of people. I don't trust you. Look at you. You come in all shooting for bear. You're so happy to do the interview.
I am
And
happy.
then you start hitting me with fake questions. You start telling me that a guy whose hand is covered
All
with
right,
a
we're back to
tattoo doesn't have the tattoo. You know.
All right.
I mean,
We're going to get to it. Don't worry. We get to that toward the end.
you're being dishonest.
No, I'm not.
Let me
No, I
just
am
tell
not,
you,
sir.
do I trust? I don't trust a lot of people. But I do think this. I think that let's say he respects me. And I believe because of me, he's not going to take over the whole. But his decision, his choice would be to take over all of Ukraine. Okay. It's a war that never should have happened.
So, yeah, there we go. And the question, of course, is about Vladimir Putin. Do you trust Putin? All this, that, and the third. Let's keep moving here. This is about Pete Hexth, because there's been quite a few articles or whatnot that have come out talking about Pete Hexth. There's no confidence in him. They're trying to replace him because of the whole signal chat kerfuffle and a few more things. Let's get into this.
A very good defense, hopefully a great defense secretary, but he'll be a very good defense secretary.
You have 100% confidence in
I don't
Pete
have
Hexth.
100% confidence in anything. Okay, anything. Do I have 100%? It's a stupid question. Look,
It's a pretty important position.
I have no. You don't have 100%. Only a liar would say I have 100% confidence. I don't have 100% confidence that we're going to finish this interview.
Exactly. Because listen, you can like someone, say they do a good job, but 100% confidence, I don't know about that. It's like if you ask me, hey, do you agree with 100% of the things that President Trump does and says? No. And I don't agree with 100% of the things that anyone says or does. So why would I say that for him? It doesn't make any sense. Let's just be honest here. Let's keep on rocking and rolling. Now we got to get to the whole issue of the border crisis. All right.
Listen, I was elected to take care of a problem. It was a unforced error that was made by a very incompetent man, a man that turned out to be incompetent, that you always said was wonderful, great genius, right? And now you find out, all of the media now, they're saying what a mistake they made. A man who was grossly incompetent allowed us to have open borders where millions of people flowed in.
At least what I say, 20 million people came into the border illegally during Biden's administration.
Campaigned on that issue. I wouldn't say it was my number one issue, but it was pretty close.
Right up there.
I campaigned on that issue. I've done an amazing job. I have closed borders. He said you couldn't do it. You wouldn't be able to do it. It would never happen. Well, it happened, and it happened very quickly. Wait a minute.
Law is.
Now, you know, the funny part about that, remember they say, oh, we got to have a bipartisan border bill. And if you don't have the border bill, the border's going to be wide open. And Republicans say they want the border to be closed, but they don't want to sign this bipartisan border bill. Remember that? But then all it took was for Trump to come in office, write some executive orders, and the border was closed. No border bill, no border deal was needed. Let's keep going here. Now, here's the whole thing. Oh, due process, ABL, due process. Let's watch this.
The lawyers about that. All I can say is this. If you're going to have 21 million people, and if we have to get a lot of them out because they're criminals, we're going to have to act fast. We can't. Do you think we can give 21 million trials? Let's say each trial takes 2 weeks. Is that what you want us to do?
The law
give
is the law, sir. The law's.
Now, you're not answering the question, though. Come on, Terry. Let's not do that, because y'all trying to hide behind the law. Y'all pick and choose when you want to follow the law. Y'all do whatever you want to do any other time. But then when it comes to this, all of a sudden, oh, we got to follow the law, Mr. President. It's because you don't want the migrants to go, because you guys want them to do a lot of these low-skilled labor jobs. You want to bring back a form of slavery, which is what you've always wanted, which is why y'all went ahead and deleted Abraham Lincoln, who was the first Republican president who freed the slaves. Well, and when I say that, he was the very first Republican president in the country, period. And what does the very first Republican president do? Free the slaves. We could squabble about why he did it. He didn't want to do it. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, he did it. And as a result, Democrats went ahead and deleted him for it. And they've been incensed about that ever since. But let's continue.
The law, and you're
the law
sworn
doesn't
to
say anything
uphold it.
about trials.
No, not trials. Hearings. I said
These
hearings.
people came in. They're not citizens. They came in illegally. They came into our country
Right.
illegally.
And
We
there's-
have to get them out.
There's a legal process for that.
I can't, sure, and we follow the legal process. I can't have a trial, a major trial
I'm not
for
saying
every
major.
person that came in illegally. We have thousands of murderers that came in. They're going to murder people. They already have murdered people in our country.
Right, so
we have to get them out,
They're
and we have
bad
to get them
guys,
out fast.
Really bad guys. But in our country, even bad guys get due process, right?
If people
Man, look, if you're here illegally, what are we talking about? We ain't talking about trying to convict you for a crime. We're trying to just get you up out of the country. So what are we saying? Like, if you accuse me of doing something, then you got to be able to prove it, all this, that, and the third. But if I'm here illegally and I'm getting jammed up, even if I don't get jammed up, I'm still here illegally. That's the bottom line.
come into our country illegally, there's a different standard. These are illegal. They came in illegally.
But they get due process.
Well, they get a process where we have to get them out. Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about the Venezuelans.
They get whatever my lawyers say.
Right.
Exactly. They are really going hard for these people, but most Americans don't care about what this guy's saying. Terry Moran, they don't care. It's like, get him out of here. Here we go with the whole thing about the tattoos on the knuckles. Now, we're going to really get into this because I have to really clarify what's going on here and show why it doesn't make any sense to squabble over this. Let's watch.
Criminals in this country, we have to get them out, and we're doing it.
By law.
And you'll pick out one man, but even the man that you picked out, he said he wasn't a member of a gang. And then they looked, and on his knuckles, he had MS13.
There's a dispute
Well, wait a minute. He had MS13 on his knuckles tattooed.
Oh, he had some tattoos that are interpreted that way. But let's move on.
Wait a minute.
No, the tattoos definitely mean MS13. If he goes to prison with those tattoos and he's not part of MS13, that's the easy way to get deleted. And he's not dead, so clearly there's something going on. Plus, there's a bunch of other information. We'll get to that in a second.
Wait a minute. Hey, Terry.
He did not
Don't
have the
do
letter MS13.
It says MS13.
Yeah, that was Photoshop. So let me
That was Photoshop, Terry. You can't do that. Hey, they're giving you the big break of a lifetime. You know, you're doing the interview. I picked you because, frankly, I never heard of you, but that's okay. But I picked you, Terry. But you're not being very nice. He had MS13 tattooed.
We'll agree to disagree. I want to move on to something else.
Terry, do you want me to show you the picture?
I saw the picture.
And you think it was Photoshop? Well,
Here we go.
Don't Photoshop it. Go look at his hand. He had MS13.
He did have tattoos that can be interpreted that way. I'm not an expert on them. I want to turn to Ukraine, sir. I want to get to Ukraine.
No.
Now, let's get to the tattoo. Let's get to the tattoo, okay? Because we have to really understand what's going on. Now, this is what Trump is referring to. Now, these are Trump's fingers holding the picture. So what Terry Moran is referring to as Photoshop are the actual letters and numbers MS13. These were added just to show what the tattoos mean. Okay, so Trump is wrong by saying that you had the actual letters MS and then the numbers 13 on his knuckles. However, he's not wrong when he says that he has MS13 tattoos on his knuckles. So squabbling about the M or the marijuana leaf, squabbling about that is really unimportant, because at the end of the day, the tattoos mean MS13. Terry talking about some, oh, well, they could be interpreted that way. Please stop. Please stop. And here's the ultimate point. Why are we trying to defend a gang member with so much vim and vigor? Why? Why do we want to pick this guy? If you want to pick somebody to be a champion for illegal immigration, pick a good, honest, hardworking person, not a gang member. And look, I got one more piece here. One more piece. So look, this was, I don't know if this was a protection order or something like this. So look, let me just read what it says. In 2018, Kilmar Abrego Garcia's wife's ex-husband warned in court that his kids were in danger because she's in a relationship with a gang member. Okay, so you can see it right here. Okay, I'm afraid of my kids, or for my kids' lives. Okay, it says, look, I'm afraid my kids' lives are in danger because she's dating a gang member. Okay, she's dating a gang member. So what are we talking about exactly? And look, the guy had been beating his wife. She took out her order. The wife's ex-husband testified this guy's a gang member. He has gang tattoos on his knuckles. He had been arrested with a bunch of other people, 8 people in the vehicle that was owned by a convicted human trafficker. You're here illegally. You're in prison in El Salvador. The president of El Salvador says you're a terrorist. What are we talking about? Why are we trying to defend this guy? Now, look, as I close, I want to say this. Shout out to President Trump for agreeing to do the interview. Terry Moran, you did the best you could, I suppose. I never heard him before myself. This is my very first time seeing you, so congratulations. Maybe you're able to get something out of this. But ultimately, squabbling about gang members, trying to defend them, trying to defend things that Americans don't want you to defend is not a winning strategy, in my humble opinion. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? What's your opinion about this whole situation with the tattoos and all the different things going on that the left appear to care about? They're really passionate about it, but a lot of us, regular everyday people, conservatives, even non-political, don't really care about. Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. The leftists have to stop trying to champion these things that people are not really interested in. They have to stop. I don't know when they got to stop, but at a certain point, they need to call it quits. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.